morning everyone. I was working yesterday on a few flowers. I was working already this morning. I was creating a few more, but I didn't find something good, or they are too big or too bright or things like that. So at the moment I will just leave those environment as it is. Maybe in the future sorry, I will work again on it, or I will use in any other places. So what I want to do today is just working on small chart that I'm just missing for a long time. I was just already leaving this space here, so it will be here in the middle of the town, but I don't have anything for that. I couldn't find good reference for a chart of this time, because what I have found is already some chart from this 13th century, but there are a lot of changes after that, so it's hard to find the original, for example, tower or the walls that they have. So they were just improving, adding a lot of things, so it's hard to find something that was at this time as a real one, and not from a few centuries later they were just adding or modifying, removing, even about just the materials of that. So what I'm trying to do is I have found maybe a couple of them that could be probably something like that. So we'll just try to have at least some blocks, and then we'll see what can we do with that in the future, if we can just improve more. So the first thing probably will be checking about the size, because I'm not sure about the right size. So I will try something like maybe 10 meters on 6, probably something like that. I will just try on before, not sure. Let's just to put on the level and see what is going with this. Just something faster. I will add also a cube as tower. So this is a cube that I will add here. Something fast, just on this one could be probably, I really don't know. Let's check how it's going. Maybe it's too much. 6 meters or 7, 8. Really not sure about this. Oh, I forgot about this keys. Probably some people could find this one interesting. Okay, so let's try just those small blocks to see at least the size for them. So let me see what's happening here. This material, and this. Okay, so this is material. I will probably will be stone for that. Probably first I will save this one. Buildings, charge. I will just charge, save, and then export to FBX. First I want to just to try the size to see how big it is, in case that is maybe too much or not. So let me find this one, and I will put this is buildings. We'll create a folder. Okay. Yeah, I was forgetting about the UBs. So let's try something like that to see how big it is. And I will just put something there just to check what the size. Let me see how it could be. seems not enough. I think it should be a bit. Well, about the, if I'm thinking about the door here, could be fine. I mean, the guy is almost the same size. The door is fine, and the tower could be also fine. But then thinking about probably doing kind of roof should be at least 3 meters. I think 3 meters could be fine. So let's do something really small. Control F. And something like that, but I would like to have this as at 3 meters. So why is this one? Because I was just forgetting probably this is scale. I was just changing this one. Now it should be 3. Okay, let's just export this one, because before I'm just starting doing all the details, I would like to have a good size. Do not spend a lot of time and then reorganizing all those, for example, doors or windows or things like that. So okay, if I'm trying something like that, seems fine. How large it should be, it's fine. And probably the tower is not enough, should be a bit higher if the roof is like that. Probably a bit more, and then some kind of course needs to have also some kind of roof for that. So this will be 6. And for this one I would like to have also this kind of thing, so I will just take this one and I will do something like that, and then just joining all of them in the same point. So okay, Alt M, at center, this is fine. So let's see. I'm comparing with any other building, seems to me that this is fine. It's big, but because I would like to have also a few area around, probably close by sorry, by fences or just stones or a small garden, and probably you need to have small space for cementing all the tombs, or a few of them. So probably the site is fine comparing with the town. I mean, it's not so big, but should be for a really small town, not so big. I mean, the space. This one I think it will be a bit more. A bit more like that, just to see the initial size. After that I will just add all the windows, doors and things like that, so it's good to have at least a good size, otherwise you are just later removing all of them, trying to adjust, because I don't want to have really huge place and just something that is more realistic, not having a lot of space. So for that reason there are not a lot of space, and also I need to have here a door for side. This was the main door that they were using, not the big one in front. And I was thinking about the end, it will be also plain or maybe some cube, but I think I will leave it is. I think that's the right thing. Okay. I think more or less it's fine. I will just use this one for reference, so I will start working on it. first thing could be probably creating this wall or made on stone. Hello. Oh, a lot of time I didn't talk with you. Yes, of course. Let me know. Where do I have this? This is the Discord channel. And usually I'm not there during the streaming, not to be messing with things like that, but let me open it. So the thing to use this Discord channel is about some bugs reporting, but it's not for reporting bugs, it's just a demo that you are just playing and enjoying and see how it's going the game, and not really that I need testers for the demo, because it's not something that I'm fixing. So it's just that you play and enjoy, and you can say, for example, the mechanics are not good, or I don't like because something is boring, slow, and things like that. I'm not really like trying to find, I don't know, some text that is some misspelling or things like that. So it's not for testing, it's just for enjoy and try what I have been doing, also kind of technical demo. And the main reason to have these people on, I think this is John LT, is it yours? Not sure. I think this is yours. So the main reason to have the Discord channel is to be clear that this is just a technical demo and you can try what you see in the streamings, and that's all. So this is not like finish it or almost alpha or beta, or this is part of the game. It's just something for testing. Even the demo mission is so simple to do some few mechanics, but this is not really part of the game, so I will just completely delete this demo mission. It's just okay if you are just following the streamings and you want to try this one to see how it's going there, walking and try a few things that you have seen on streamings. That's the reason to have the demo, so you don't need to really test. Anything is welcome about anything like performance or some mechanics that you don't like, or some ideas about the future game. Everything is fine, but it's not for just try to test it and report me all the finds or the bugs that you have found, because if it's something big that it is really blocking you to play the game, I'm fixing. Otherwise I'm not fixing most of the things, because it just makes no sense. It's in the middle of the development of the game, so I'm not just spending time to fix bugs in this demo. Of course, if it's something big, I will just be fixing. People were already reporting a few of them, so I was just trying to fix a few things. So I will create right now for you an access to the place for downloading. Just let me do that. So that's just the only reason is not putting there on my website, and people is just downloading and thinking that this is almost done the game or just a beta or things like that. So it is not. It's just nightly build that I was just completing a bit more, then ensure that most of the things are working, and that's all. So it's just like more or less like any other nightly building. So of course it's just blocking some point that you cannot walk there. Just let me know, I will fix this one so people can just play again with that. Tell me also about I will or just in this channel. Let me know the username just on the chat on Discord. You can just tell me and I will just create right now. So the first thing I will do is this wall that need to be of course stones and probably separate from the rest of them, because maybe they have bricks, because they need to support this tower. So okay, let me do that right now. Okay, so What is my link? Wait. Okay, so I was just putting there the URL that you need to use there with your username without password, go enter to login, and then it's asking for a password that you need to put there, and after that you have access to a small internet panel where you have one link for a zip file to download. If you're having problem with proxies or don't use also those download manager or things like that, this is direct download from zip after you are just logging on it. So and that is not limited by speed or anything like that. It's like 300 megabytes, and it should take a few seconds if you have good internet, because the server is working well. So yeah, try to download this one. If you have any problem, just let me know. I will try to do, I don't know, something with your account in case this is not working. Okay, so those will be duplicate, and then by selection, and this is the one that I was trying to do. Okay, extrude, and I will move probably GX 3.5. I think it's fine. Hello Chris Ivan, welcome. Good morning, afternoon, my dear. Just working on the chart. I was just starting today because I don't have good reference, so that's why it's hard to manage things. But I was just creating like a box for the size, and after that I will just start adding a few things for that, which is not so good, but yeah, I will just need to have some imagination about this. But anyway, try to keep something really small and simple because it's a small town, so the chart should be something really small. So we're just doing a few blocks just to be sure that probably this is the size that need to have, and I will do probably I think this is scale, not X, so a bit more, and then I will just do them to be on 0, so it should be something like that. Just let me know if you have any question. I'm not sure if you have been here before, probably not, I didn't see you, or we're not talking. So if you have any question about the project, the game, or any technical question about Unreal Engine or Blender, could be probably maybe helping you, or at least just explaining what I did to solve any other problems. So in case that you are interested on game, just asking about the game mechanics and things like that, or if you are just about development, just let me know also, it's fine. So that's the first thing should be, this is the wall. There need to be stones to support the tower. So the tower will be a bit dark, like that probably, and I will just try to make a hole here. So probably something like let me create a block. Let's create something like a door. Otherwise I will use Boolean operation to just remove this door. So the thing we need to do is, for this one should be that's 1 meter is fine because I'm using just I'm just using Boolean late to just remove this space here, and what it need to be is 2 meters. Probably is fine, probably it should be a bit more things like that. Oops, not this. This is 2. Yeah, and then this 2.5, and this one needs to be at 0. So we'll just create this and that. And what we need to have is so if this is 1.25 exactly, and then just location here. So we'll use this one to make a hole on those on this wall. So we'll take this one and then modify boolean, then just difference from this cube 3, I think. And let me see if this is working. Probably the rest is just matching. No. What was happening here? I think the difference should be working. 3. Why not? What? Probably because I need to have these ones longer, but it's not, no, I don't think so. Okay. So, okay, nice one. I was just having a problem with this kind of set of heighting. So, okay, we will apply this, and I will remove the door. I don't need this. So, of course, it's not well done because you are just messing a lot of things, but just having this only the face, and then I will just create a new one here. Then well, so now it's fine, and probably something like that. Well, in case that this is already 2 meters, what I need to do probably is just reduce this one to 2, have it something like that. Let me try just to see if the size of the door is going well. I'm having problems all the time because I'm not doing this UV and should have. And you see the UV is completely wrong. And I think it's kind of set up lighting here for the door, because this one, this one needs to be. Let me see. Why is not being selected? In that case, I should use things like that. Of course, I should do also the door here, but in that case, what I will be doing is just the roof and the walls, and this completely empty inside. So I don't need to really make this hole. I'm just checking out the size, and just to be something fast, I will remove all scenes, and then I will do. I don't think so. I will do later because it's just doing for blocking. Spending too much time. Anyway, just modifying things will be just completely broken again, so makes not much sense. Yeah, it takes a bit long because it's just having this kind of box here. So let me see what the size of the door. How is it going? Well, it's not so big compared with if this one is the big one. I mean, this is the main door of the chart. Should be probably a bit bigger. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to find something, but it's hard to find any reference for that. So I think I will keep this one because also this door needs to be something nice. I will not do at the moment, so just let's keep this one as a door it is, and we need to have also a few doors here, and some small, really small windows, like 20 centimeter or even 50 centimeters as maximum. This one should be stones. For that, and the rest probably will be bricks or maybe also stones, I'm not sure. And so let's just create, instead of this one, let's create walls for that, so we can just already walk inside. This is tower, and this is front, just to have some names, and this is the cube that I'm using. So I will use this. I will just duplicate this one, duplicate, and then simply back selection, and I will just hide this one, and probably I will just duplicate this and then G E minus 0.1. Probably is not enough. I'm just planning to have windows later, so oops. 0.1. Oops, again. 0.5 will be maybe too much. .25 is fine, and then duplicate this one, GE 0.25. So we have the walls already for the main part, and I will just recalculate all of them. Okay, and it's easy to have this and grab just in case that it's not just messing. So what I'm not planning to export at this time is this one, so I will just only export what is selected. Usually I create a group for things that to export and just keep outside all those small things that I'm just using as reference helpers, things like that. So I don't really need to check all of them, just put a group for export and then it should be in the meantime that this is going. So what I do is, for example, this one which is walls, and then I will just add to group, and then this group is export, and then this tower goes to export also at the moment, and this one goes to export, and this one, for example, will be to helpers, things like that. So after that I just use the groups here, and I have all of them as well, but I check this one and then export, and I will be selecting all the export, and here I have the selected objects, so I'm just only exporting this group and all the helpers I'm not doing, so I don't really need to select them or just every single time. So we should have already this one high. Okay, yeah, I'm missing also about the probably the normal maps. Yeah, the normal of the faces are not properly done. For that reason I cannot see this one, and I can fix this one really fast. So this, let me see the walls here. One, this is fine. This one need to be flipping, and this one flipping. Okay. So export again this group, it is selected. Because I want to walk around to see how big it is. That's the first thing that I would like to have. I will delete this. It was just a reference, but I don't need this or this one. Oh, that one. Okay, there is no process at all, so that's fine. We are just walking. So yeah, just to check about the size. So it's not so big, but I think it's enough, more than enough. Small charge for small town. Just taking care of this. I will just also move the tower to top, things like that. Like this, something like 3 meters or 4.25. Yeah, And next thing that I need to do is just keeping a roof, so I will just use this is the helper that I have here. I will do the same, just duplicate this one and separate, and now I will use this one as roof, and I will move to the group of exports. So here I can see this, and I will just probably extend a bit of this. So it's just scale, not X, something like that. But in that case, it's probably bigger than the front. Well, it is not. This is not bigger, so this is fine. Just check out the normals, just to be sure. Yeah, they are fine. To be sure that this is just a wall that we are just working on it. Okay, so let's try to export this one, which is more or less already outside, and we should be able to walk around. Completely wrong about all those normal maps. Exactly, and also I was not exporting all of them, so I think I need also both duplicate and then I need this one, and then increase speed, scale but not X, so it's something like that. Okay, and now we will check about the normals, because this one should be outside but this one should be inside, so we need to flip them both. Okay, save, export again. Initially it's a bit tedious, the process, just to see the size for all of the things. After that it's just much better, and just adding a few details, it's just easy to have all of them, but initially it's a bit boring, all those processes. Okay, so let's walk around. Should be fine now walking inside of the chart to have the right size. This is something small, and yeah, this is really something small, but not sure if I should be doing something bigger or just because inside you see it's not so big, but probably having a few, let's add a few benches just to see the real size, because it's supposed to be that people is just sitting down there, so it should be a few benches there. I will just use something generic, of course I don't have still for them for the chart, but let's see this kind of things. So just adding a few of them just to calculate the size of them. So this is, I was just duplicating and doing like that. Probably I will do something smaller or closer or things like that, but just as a reference could be, well, it needs to be something closer. Okay, can I just block this one not being selected? Possible to select? I think it was already. Okay, we will put something in the middle, which is this. If this one is giving me option to move. Okay, something like that. Let's see the size when we are walking inside with that space. This is fine. They'll be big, so probably I will do something smaller because they are maybe 2 meters, so I will do something smaller, and then more or less is fine. You have some space here, maybe too much. And I will try something as I have another benches. For example, this one is smaller. What this? Why is this just flying? For some reason I'm not colliding with this. We should be colliding with the rest of them. I'm not sure about this, or something even smaller like that. Something like this should be more accurate to the space that I need to use for the chart. So I think it's fine. The size is fine. I will continue with this size. I'm not planning to do much bigger. I don't think that we need bigger ones. So I will delete all of those things that are not needed. Well, I will just keep them. Why not? So the door seems fine. And for example, if we need to do a door here, should be something smaller and not so far from the enter, and you have something here, some space, and then that's the door. Because probably the tower, to keep this one, is just stones, need to be at least some walls here. So that's why probably it's like small room when you enter, and then you have maybe left and right doors, but not in front, and this will be something already from the side. So let's this one just extend, extrude, probably the opposite one. So this one delete this face, but also doing one. I will delete all of them because I only need these three. Something like that I will do later, doors there. But that's the idea. You enter here and then you have doors here on the left, door here on the left and right. And the doors that is coming from inside should be probably something like that, the same space. So in that case, just to be at the same size, if we have a door here, this is exactly the same place where we need to have this door for the walls. So this is my wall, and let me just try something like this, and then like that. And the size should be around 1 meter, a bit more. So this is from minus 3.75. So this one should be minus 2.75. So this is one meter, and then we will move together. So this is fine. I will create also another here. It will be at 2 meters. I will remove all of them later, so it's just to have some things that we are doing. Okay, so I will remove this, and we have our first door on the left side. This is the one that should be smaller, and then let's see, this one should be faster doing that. Minus 0.5, and then we need to flip the direction of the normal. So we have here one door that is going just in front of this, and then you go on the left, and probably the tower is a bit big. Not sure. Okay, it's fine. Let's try our first door. If it's working, I will just duplicate the opposite side. So this is just we don't need to really model all of them, it's just half of them. In fact, I could just use mirror for all of them and should be enough. Okay, so let's see the size if we are just trying to walk inside. The door should be open to inside, so this one should not be here. We are missing, I was just here, I want to change the normal of those faces to see exactly how much space what we have. So this one I will remove right now, and what we need is this this wall, the normal, and also this flip direction, and I think this is fine. So we can see the wall just in front, and of course it will be here a couple of doors, but at the moment it's just the wall to see the size that you need to cross this. It's really slow when it's just importing something that I have 30 triangles. Okay, so that's the size of the door inside. Okay, so we go there, and you have a wall here with another door if you are going from the main door and then walking a bit, and after that we still have a little space here, so you go to the corridor, and then space here for the mess. It will be of course closed, and then I think more or less the size is fine. It's exactly what I was just trying to find. So let's move a bit this just as reference, and then we have space here to walk, and then take this space. Oh, here probably the tower is too big and it's using a lot of space, so probably I will just remove a bit of this, making this one smaller. And also I would like to have, of course, small stairs that you can go inside and go to the top. So for that reason, probably, or I will use one of the doors here, or I will use small stairs in this area. So you are going to this one, to this wall, and after that you can go inside of the tower, because you need this space that right now is empty. This space, when you are entering, you need this space on both doors for the main, and probably just a door in front, instead of adding a couple of them here. Could be just in front. Yeah, exactly, should be one in front, so you go straight ahead as you have the main door, but you go on the left side if you are just the daily mess, and not just maybe for example on Sundays or things like that. So what we need to do is having this main door here 2 times, so you go through the charge, and in case you want to go to the tower, you should go here with field steps, and then just arrive to the 2nd floor, and then continue inside of the tower for the access of this one to the bells. Okay, seems clear now. So this one will have the door here. Okay, so this one needs to have here a door. I will just duplicate something fast. Let's subdivide. Okay, and then I will just remove this. And let me reduce a bit of this, because there are a lot of here. In fact, I think I could dissolve them, and probably it works. No. What about this? Okay. This one works. Okay, so something like that. Of course, it's not well done. I need to triangulate this one later, but it's fine. So it will be just the door in front of the church, and I will put here in case that, or just using this small door. If I'm putting another one here, I don't have space for going to the tower, so probably I will leave only one here and not here, and here I will put the steps to right to exactly this point. So after that you can go inside and then continue it inside of the tower. So this I will subdivide, and then this is the second one. Let me check this. So from this point should have this, but then this one is wrong. Okay, now it's fine. So this is face and this is another face. And I will create here what is supposed to be the second face is here. So this is the small door going to the doorway. So this is fine. And I will just also, I see that I'm probably I was just messing around with this, and also this one for some reason, I don't know why. Okay, and we will do the same, dissolve them and then dissolve them, dissolve vertices. Can I do that? No. Seems to me that I need to do one by one. Okay. Let's just keep something simple, not more and more complicated. Also, we need to remove all duplicates because I'm just removing a few of them. Okay. Seems fine, and I will keep this one probably closed because one door is enough, and then I need this space for those small stairs going here, and then continue walking inside of the tower. And what about the roof? This roof, this is fine. What I need to do is also about this roof is not well. I mean, this one needs to be size less this, and need to be without this, need to be adjusted to this wall, which is the inner wall. So this one a bit more, and now it's fine. So there's a real size of the inside of the wall, and just you have this, and probably I need to make this one bigger to just match with this one, and probably I will do all of them just to have the same size, and I don't need to get this. So things like that could be enough. I think I messed up the roof exactly. I don't know why, but I was just saying not modifying this x-axis, but since that it is, so let's fix this. This one should be around 5, and this one should be around probably -5 or what, -5. And then, since that this is not big enough, so this is not big enough, needs to be scale, no X, a bit bigger, and I will adjust on the button for this one. Yeah, I will just adjust this, both of them to 0. And this is more or less the main entrance, and since 5, I think it's 5. Let's try. So far I like it. It's just oops, forgot about exporting all the group. It's going well. Have some space. Of course, need much more work, especially for details. For example, walking inside, or oops, come on. Okay. But the main thing right now is just checking about the size. So after I can work much more on it, but I would like to have at least the real size for the things. Otherwise, it's just working and then try to adjust later, and then you need to redo all unwrapping and things like that. But you have the real size. Just fine. You work on, for example, the roof, or you work on the tower, so small parts, and then if you keep the same size for them, all of them work well. So I don't need to really modify later anything there. So let's check again walking. So in case that you are around here, since 5, yes, and then the wall. Yeah, I'm missing the inside, all those things closing the door, but the idea was just going there, and then you have this small wall here if you are using the left door. So you go there, you have some space. This door will be of course closed, and then you can walk this way, and I will reserve this small space for small steps arriving to this small door. Will be probably smaller. I'm thinking about this thing is a bit big, seems to me. So let's no. What is this? Okay, and this one. Okay, GX 0.5. Or probably too much. Something like this, and then we need to adjust this to the roof. Okay, it's not so big. I was thinking about how to close this one, if I'm using exactly the same but without a door, or I will have just the roof here. The roof is just fencing here. Probably to make it easier should be just reusing this one. But the thing is, having here probably a window, a big window instead of the door, of course. So I think I will just duplicate this and just move there. And what I'm doing now is just removing this door, but in that case what I need is all faces. Oops, probably I need to have them to 0 and then just remove them. Let me see if it's just removing or no, should be also 0. And now we can just dissolve probably if we have already a face here. So this is a face and this is another face, and I think I can just dissolve these edges, since not, probably because I'm missing a few points or I don't have any. Let me check. Do I have some duplicated vertices? I don't think so. Ah yeah, I have. Okay, so probably now I can do that. Let's see. Okay, now I can dissolve edges. So we have already this one close here, but should be instead of need to have here a window, probably something nice, because just in front of the of those space. So this is back. Which is more or less ready. I was just trying to find reference, but there's nothing there, so yeah, it's hard to have things. Anyway, I will just keep it as it is. Just let's just unwrap every single part and put some generic material just to see how it goes. So this is the back. Okay, so we will try this one the first. For that, what I need is probably this one is cutting down, and I will also remove some faces that I don't really need it. For that, I will just reuse this and move to something under the ground, just to be sure this is matching with the ground. What I will cut is this one, so it's just duplicating there. In that case, I would like to have let's see how it's going. So I'm cutting here, so I'm just wrapping this one, and I need also this and this and this one, and probably this one, and this should be already enough. Let's try. Unwrap. Yes, it's fine. This is fine. Let's do the next one. In that case, I will try to do more or less the same. So this one, this, and we need also to have the door, which probably I will delete because I think I will have something around or something nicer, so I don't need those faces at the moment. Not also this one. Just try to reduce as much as possible, because in the end all of them are just counting to have something less triangles. I will also move there. This is also fine. Of course, the door will be later, but just to put some generic materials there. So the roof, I think this is already done. Yeah, well, I will keep this. The tower is a bit strange, probably. With some strange. So this is going well if we are just using probably things like that. Yes, but since that I'm just missing here for some reason, for example here, it's just connected. The problem is here that they are not connecting this one, so I should triangulate this, so recalculate also, and then yeah, to have all of them connected I should have triangles for that. So what I need to do is just only face, and now I need to connect them, so I will just create this as F. I could also triangulate this one, but usually when they are not well connected you have a few problems with that. So this is now connected and should be for some reason it's not paying. I have the same problem here. I think this face is also not well connected, so only the face, and now we need to connect those faces here. And then this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5, so either like this, probably this is 3, and this is the last one, F. And we have also the same problem with that. There's something strange, only the face, and we will just triangulate manually the one that we have. This F, and this is already 4 that we can use. Try again, because I want that all of them are connected, so I don't know what is not being connected for that. I don't have any of them, and this is everything is triangulating, should be fine. The problem is here that this just exactly. The problem I think is this one. I don't want this face. That's why it was just messing everything exactly. So it's just being rotated, which is not so good, because I need to have probably when I'm just reducing all those things, probably it's just being better, and I will try it right now. So this one is going here, this one is going here. Oops. Why not? This is something not well. Okay. Of course we just continued this one, but at the moment I just want to remove the one that we are just kind of duplicated, so I will just remove all of them, the doubles, and exactly as you can see this one is not connected, so this is the one that I want to connect. I would like to know why it's not being okay. This is I was just wondering why it's not being connected at all. So this is the one that I want to connect to this other one. Is it fine now? Something's broken, but this is not. I mean, this one is connected already, so remove doubles and grab. Okay, that's fine. That's exactly what I was trying to do with this one. So we have already this, and then just the walls, which is probably, well, what is this? What is exactly this? So this is 3.23. Okay, I think I was just forgetting to, oops, when I was just creating or just duplicating this door, I think I was just missing both of them, so it should be more or less also like that. They are not connected, so they are full, yeah. And I will assign also material, so for this back should be stone, fine. For the front should be stone. The roof I will just create a new material, being roof, just copy enough. And then for the tower will be stone also, and the walls I will have a new one, kind of bricks, because I want to just put a few generic textures to see how it's going, how it looks just in the engine. So re-import, I was forgetting about also what, oops, this wall, I'm not sure if we are just no, it's fine. Well, then seems to me too big for the left or right, that's fine. Let's just assign a few materials. So this one is stone, so we'll use stones 2 WS, and also the tower is fine. And now for this is roof, so I will use roof, well, something bigger. This one could be fine. Ah, what is that? Bricks. I'm not sure if I have a few bricks. Probably. I don't like much, but it's not final at all, so it's just fine. Just to have a few material on the engine. Okay, save. Definitely the size of the textures are not being according to the model, but this is fine at the moment. And yeah, the tower should have also, this is a roof for the tower, but I will just create more details later. And yeah, we should have a different material for inside, but this is at the moment not so critical. And probably inside should be, of course, not brick but plaster. So let's take again the walls, and for the walls I would like to have inside and outside. So this is already inside, and I would like to have a new material, which is just plaster. I will put some decoration later, probably just decals instead of painting on the texture. In that case I can use generic texture here, and I don't need to create a big one for 10 meters square for this wall. Let's try again. I have here re-import, and I should have here a new material, should have, but this is not. Did I create a material or not? I think I did. The walls, probably I was just changing the, I was not creating any one, but I was just changing the name of the bricks here. Alright. So this is bricks, and I should have not assigning this one because it needs to be another one, and this is exactly, I was just not even creating this one. So this is plaster. I will assign them, and then select inverse is Control E, and then I will assign to bricks here. Now we have two materials for that. So try again. I was just messing with all the materials for that. Stuff here, a new one. Okay, now I have. This is plaster. And I will also plaster WS. So I have inside, I have the walls already. This plaster. Probably I'm missing something here for. Yeah, seems to me that the tower is not very well done. I'm just having problems with some faces. Okay, so inside should be white. Then going outside, we should have these bricks, but inside is just white. And yes. What do you think, guys? More or less at the moment, of course, it's missing a lot of details and much better textures and everything, but just talking about blocking, I mean, this is the right size, looks more or less nice here. Or should be, I'm checking now, comparing with any other buildings, for example, that they are not so big, comparing with for example with those buildings, the church is not so big and not so high. Probably that's the main problem, not too high, but being inside seems to me fine, but when I'm going outside seems a bit small. I mean, maybe it's just effect that I have with those both walls, and probably not having, for example, a door as a reference, as you can see that's much bigger or not, and also those bricks are too big. I agree, it's too much. Can we just try something? Like that probably, or not. Just trying to change the size of the bricks that you have here for stones. But probably is changing a bit of the scale is just not comparing with this one, so in that case it seems a bit bigger. I think I will leave it as this at the moment, seems fine for me about the size. Let's change the time of the day to any other time. I'm not completely sure about the height, how high it is, but in that case I just need to move from the bottom a bit down like 1 meter, or I think I will do right, because I don't like much how it's going, and it's better to modify right now instead of waiting for almost everything is done. So I will just move 1 meter high the roof and everything. So what I need is, first thing, selecting everything here, you can see. I'm probably okay, so all of them. This at 1 meter, and after that what they need to do is just moving all the parts in the background and also doors here, moving one down. Oops, I forgot about this. That's the wall, and then this is same. Probably we need to unwrap everything, otherwise it's just messing things. And finally the tower, and the tower I will do without anything because it's not easy to see. So things that need to be done is this one, also this, and the buttons. All of them need to be 1 meter down. And then of course the tower is so big now, or should be, let me check if we can keep the size of the tower a bit more. I think we can keep, because the one that we have is the scale here. We are just moving everything to the top, but this one is also moving, so this is the same tower coming from the roof, so I will not change this. This is all we need to do is again unwrapping all of them. So let's unwrap. This is the door, and then it's the bricks. The roof, I didn't change the roof. And then front, yeah, I was just changing this one, so unwrap, and the back. And just to see again all of them. Should be just 1 meter higher right now. Keeping the same scale for everything, just only being higher. Okay, so it's a bit higher, and from outside, since looks better compared with any other building. And if we are walking inside, to see how big it is, that's big. That's fine. And the store, it's bigger, of course, much higher. From inside, from inside it is big. Of course we don't have any proxy at the moment, so that's why. Oh, we can do something faster. Let's create a few proxies for that, just for the walls. It's not really complex to do that. Let's add a few proxies. I will add 2 walls. Add cube. That will be group export, but the name of this one will be ubx walls, and this is 001. Not sure about the caps. I don't think that I need this, but I will do. And then this is 3 meters, I think. 3. This is 0. What is something is not well? Maybe it's about the scale or things. No. So this one should be 0. And this one should be 3. I could even use 4. I don't really need this. You cannot jump so backwards. I don't want to mix with them, so I'm not planning to do so long. Until this one I will do less, like mine for 25, and this one will be also the same, like things like that. 25. And now this side. Let's reduce this one at the moment. So this one side, and this is the another one. Just to be sure on top. What are them? Why do I have? It's about, probably it's about the roof. Okay, so it's better to have this one as reference. This is the real wall. I see. Okay, so this is one for one side. Duplicate because it's just exactly the same but the opposite one. Of course we need to take care about the door. Okay, so this is one side. Now about the door that is here, so probably what I will do is just cut down this. No, I think it's not a good idea. Okay, and now also duplicate this. Minus 4, 25 to have the same size for them, and then this one will move to another side of the door. Okay, and now I will create for the front, and so this is front, but probably need to be higher or things like that. But it's fine, I don't need to create higher. You cannot jump too much, so need to be 0, to be something in the middle, and of course need to be adjusted to the walls. Okay, so this is one side, and we need now another side, but in that case we have 2 of them. So I will just cut down in 2 pieces because I need this to be one side, this, and then this is the opposite side. So if we see the walls, oops, what is, no, for some reason it's not. Okay, I was just adjusting to the inner door. Okay, this one, and I would like to see also what is this. This one. Probably it's just not having this set of fighting. Yeah, just to say this. But why this is? Do I have any material or something like that? No. Okay, anyway, that's all the proxies that we have for the walls. Exactly all of them. I will just change it with all the names. This is just creating. Blender is not creating well the names. This is 2. This is 3. 4. 5 and 6. Of course we need to create later for the tower, just to have something that we can walk. And I want to see if the player collision happening taking care exactly. So we have here already. So if we walk right now, should have already the walls right there. Yes. Oops. We have here a problem. I see. This is fine. Should be exactly. What about inside? Also is fine. So inside is fine. Let's take the another side. But here I was just missing a bit of space. This wall is also fine. So I forgot about this small area in both sides, of course. So we'll just adjust right now. Yeah, I see it's just being the same side of the walls, but need to be. So if this is back, no, this is the one that we have. So in that case we need to have the same side of this. Okay, so this is coming to this, and this one is also coming here. And we have exactly the same problem with those areas, so this is also something that needs to be longer. And this one either, I think it's this. Yes, now it's fine. A small mistake. Now it's fine. On the opposite side, this is also fine. Let's check the couple of them. This is fine, and this is fine. If I just jump, of course 3 meters is too high, so it's not a problem for the proxies. This is going well, and this is going well. Of course I'm missing the proxy for the tower at the moment, but it will take much more time to make all the details, and also the main door and this inner door. So what I'm just trying to do is just a block for it. So this is fine. We are checking front sides. Think about the size of this one. If you compare with any other building, seems a bit small, but in fact it's just like 4 meters high, so it's much bigger. The problem could be probably is that I don't have a door here to have any reference, and also the textures are not exactly the size that should be. So you see that it's big or small or things like that. I'm just creating, for example, for that one, like 2 times smaller, probably seems much smaller. For example, the brick, I can do something like that. And for the stones, no, opposite way, things like that. Just changing the pattern of the bricks should be probably looking like bigger. If you use this one as a reference, of course you don't try to do that, but your eyes is just taking as a reference for the size of the bricks, for example. But yeah, more or less, of course it's missing a lot of details that I will be doing. Also the tower, and I need to put all of them decals and doing everything inside and things like that, but the size I think is fine. I will just continue with this one. If you compare, for example, with people, you can see that they are kind of small, so the chart is big, especially comparing that it is just down, so it should be not so big, the chart. But as you can see, this is quite big, this is big. While you are inside, you can see that it seems not so big, or you have not much space. So just putting some people as a reference. You don't have a lot of space, very honest, and the walls are not so thick. I mean, it's just 25 centimeters, so it's just this height, yeah. But the space inside is not a lot of space, but being outside seems big, which is not really a lot. So yeah, I think the size is fine, because I will be really it will be bad if in the future I need to change all the size that I was just already modeling, for example those doors and things like that, that I need to redo all the size for all the things and the walls and things like that. So it will be not really nice. And I think I will put here something small, some wood. I will hide all of them, and I have the walls here, and I will just put here a small frame of wood for this one. So I will add mesh cube. I want to see what is this. Need to be a bit longer. This one will be one of the sticks, so let's say this is 0. This one should be, of course the scale is not fine, but I mean, reference for the size is too much. This is fine, and then I'm just adjusting here the scale and rotation, things like that. So this is one side, could be. I will probably use I will remove this. I will use something matching with this one, not making one big one, but just something like that. So I will duplicate this, and I will use duplicate this one, but rotate on X 90, oops, rotate E 90, and then something like that, so you can see like it's supporting the door, and small X, things like that. Oops, okay, we can adjust the another side. Okay, come on. Okay, I just want to create this side I don't have, and also this side. So what we need to do now is adjusting everything to this. That's the size for the door. I need to be so big as the wall, or a bit more. So something like that. I think it needs to be a bit bigger, and we need also this, just to avoid this zeta fighting or things like that. So this one and this one need to be bigger, just to really support this one. I will do unwrapping really easy for that. Just take this, and then this is same because we don't have on the top or bottom, and for that I need to do something a bit more complex. Let me see, this way, and I will unwrap properly like that. Margins, let's see, unwrap. This is going well. The only thing that they need to have is all of them in the same direction, but I'm not sure about this, so we'll put now, I will name this as wood, because probably I will have all of them in the same mess, even being a door or anything like that. So there's a new one, and it will be wood for all of them. Save, and then export. With this we will have a new material here. Still not there. Okay, so where is my stone, this roof, bricks, plaster, and where is my new material? Let me see. Did we forget about okay, because I forgot to add to the group for export, so it was not exported at all, this new mess, so this material have been completely ignored. So that's why I don't have this. Let's do. Okay, now I think I have ready. This is wood, and I will use here wood, probably 2. Let me see. Well, the scale seems fine, but of course it's completely this one need to be changed from the UV, and I could even use this one smaller. So let me rotate which we are missing, which is both of them. I don't care much because I will be adding a few things more for wood in the future. So this UV will be served for more things, and I need to reorganize later, but something first. Re-import, because this door will be really something simple, and I will use of course a blueprint and doors that I have already with action for opening and closing and things like that. But oops, it's too much. This is better. So I will leave this hole right now, and I will put later a door which is a component, and I will use this one as a blueprint, so I have a few accents here for that. So that's the door, and you can see here this is already fine. Let's change time of the day because the shadow is just going on the opposite way. Things like that. And we can see, because this door will be really something simple. This is a side door that I use in daily, so that's something not really impressive. And this one will be nicer, probably will be part based on stone, and then the door and some things and I don't know, some detail. I think I have already something. Let me try to find this. Buildings here. Yeah, I have something here ready, which is not the one because I'm not using this one, of course, but I mean I have already something like this, something nicer, and I will try to do something like that with a few details, so it's something nicer to do. But this one is for another thing, but kind of this. In fact, I can just keep this one at the moment to not have this hole. and then we can walk. So about the proxies, should be working more or less fine. Yes, this is working, the proxies are working. The store will need to be closed, everything and well done, but at the moment it's just box here missing. We have space. Yes, we have. Seems okay for me. In fact, we can just already try to do this blueprint and then add a door here with a component. Let's do that and then replace this one. Even we don't have the final model, but most of the things can be already done. So let's go to buildings and then workshops granules I have here. I will just create here. So this is a new blueprint class coming from buildings. This is building pp. Yes. So let me just, because this class for building have a lot of things for going inside, outside, controlling what the sound, lights and things like that. So I need to do is adding here a static mesh, and then I will assign this one to the charge we have. Okay, so I have all the materials. I don't want to see the floor. That's fine. And probably not real time also. Keep this performance. So we have this. This is the mainness, and then I will add here a door with child actor. And child actor will be a door and will be not here, but I will use here a class that I have already, which is door, I think door base BP. Yes, and then I can just change about all the things. For example, those doors are working fine with the NPCs, that they are just opening and closing automatically for them. And I see that probably is too high. I could just, of course, just change the side of this one, but I think it's better just to keep the door as it is. And even I can control, for example, which direction is being open. For example, here as you can see. So what I will do is just changing the inverting, so it's just opening from this one, and I can control the degrees that are being open. As you can see with this one, this which direction is going there. Let me adjust also from this to see something in the middle of the wall. This is well, okay. And then I can control how many degrees you are opening. For example, in this case 90 will be fine, or even 85, or just to avoid fighting here with this. I think I will leave this. So what we need to do right now is replace this one. I will just delete, but in that case I'm just missing this door also. Yeah, it's fine. And I will use this charge right now, which is a blueprint already and should have the door working. Let's just do that, just to match with the place that it was, which is of course not finally, and in the final blueprint you have all the doors, all the things together. So I don't have any problem just reorientating this one. So okay, so let's try to open the door. Should be working already. Just a component that is completely ready for. You have already this one. You can see. Oops. Okay, this is one of the problems that we have with the door. The door is missing, and then it's messing with this small proxy. So what we need to do is probably moving the door a bit, yeah, Let's try this one. What's happening here? Our door is not static, which is fine. Static door, and the mesh will be also static because I don't need this. And what I will try to do is just moving a bit to the left to see if just avoiding this proxy. And I would like to see also in front. Is it front? Yes. That I'm not just, in fact I'm already doing. Otherwise we need to create a bit bigger this space, which is not a big problem, especially now that we don't have things done. Okay, that's fine, it's enough just for the proxies being there. I would like to have also a few sounds for that, so probably I will add the sounds for the way I have from other doors. For that, what I have is I have already a couple of functions that I can just connect to this one. So I take the door and then get child actor, and then this is door base, so it's just cast to door base, and I can bind here binding on open, bind event to on open, and then I will add the same for bind event to on close. Bind event to on close. So it's just ready to do things like, for example, sound, but you can do also I don't know, sound effect or lightning or things like that. For and you don't really need to recreate the this one will be on open event. You don't need to create a new object or new blueprints, things like that. So you have a few functions that you can just binding, and then they are being called when something's happening here. So you can extend it very easy without even creating any things. So custom event, and it will be on close event. And what I want to do here is just opening a sound. So this one, and this will be in the begin play. And I think that I have already there. Let me check another one that I was just already created for that, so I don't need to think a lot. And then is door bb, this one. So I have already here the sound. So this is one for this. This is the one opening, I think. This is all open exactly, and for closing I need to have a small delay because the sound is starting when it's already finished. So this will be here, just small delay, and then the sound is matching because otherwise just starting the sound before the door is completely closed. So okay, so let's check if this binding is working. Should be, because I have been using before, but instead of continue with things, yeah, so it's also working and having the sound. Yeah, we have already sound, door working in the chart. What I would like to do probably is just reduce this one a bit too much with the door, or I could just make longer the door. This is not a big problem. Could be just less time, or but the door is fine. I mean, I don't want to be so big doors, so yeah, I think I will remove this. Let me also check with some NPCs to see the size of this. So as I say, the door is fine, so it's a good reference for them already, and what I will do is just modifying the charge. So this is the first thing that we need to change, is this one. So let me hide a few things because I only need this. How much do I need? I really don't know. That will be, let's 1.2. Oops, seems too much really. 1.0.5. We'll do that right now, and then we will just adjust also the walls when it is fine, and also we will adjust the UV matching with this one. So first this charge, re-import. It take long for almost nothing. So I say that this a bit more than need to be. Could be fine. It is a small hole things, or probably I will do. Oh, this small hole is already here, which is fine. It's good to have these things, and probably I will move a little down, which is 0.01. And this as well. Then I will do the same with the walls and everything. Still not enough. So okay, probably I will do again, and now check again. Since fine now, let's take the opposite of the way. Now it's fine. So I think that what I need to do now is moving the walls in case that they are not. So this is fine. So what we need to do is just adjust the unwrap. All of them will be rotating to match the wood pattern, and now the walls just matching for this one. So walls, no. Okay, no. And both of them. This is fine, but I'm afraid that later it's not. So and probably we need to do exactly the same for the walls. Unwrap and export everything. Okay, so the door is working already. Probably I will change the mesh to something nicer or a few details about this, but now it's the door is fine. Let's check again. I don't have the proxy on the top, just in case that it's avoiding just fighting there to cross, because I have a few NPCs that are taller than others, so that's the reason that to avoid these kind of problems, usually I'm not doing proxies here on the top, because this makes no sense. You could probably just jump here, but yeah, it's I don't know. I could just raise something but a bit higher so avoiding you to jump, for example, but not just blocking you to cross this area. So let's create small proxy here to this area. There's not really much needed, but okay. So let's see the proxies where they are. So this one, I will duplicate this, and then what I need to do is this, and it's easy to move. Yeah, it's fine. And then move here to that, something like that. So I'm just avoiding to block the NPC walking if they are longer or for some reason. Okay. Oh, just curious. Triangle 130 at the moment, yeah, it's fine. Okay, so the door is here, and we would like to have also, of course, a few windows here, but I don't have those windows yet. And probably a big one here, or just something, I don't know, round, or I'm not sure about what to put here. And here you have the windows, walls, but those windows will be exactly same like the opposite side. Probably the door will be something nicer. And also what I need is just to put something around of this area with probably some vegetation around, and also not sure, just putting a bit on the top could be also fine, having a bit on the top, but I don't have enough space to make small here, I think. But we can try that. So let me select all of them all together. I will put kind of a folder so we can just move all of them together before we start doing is this paint selected? Probably because I have the charts already selected, so that's why I cannot see all of them selected. So let's create a folder for that. Where is my selector here? So let's move to create a new folder, chart, and this chart should be I should move this one to this layer, and also I need to move all of them to this one. Move all the selected actors to this. Okay, so now we can just select all of them. Select all of them and just move, let's say, to something like that, and I will just try to modify the terrain here to put something on the top, just not to be so plain the terrain. So I will just try something here. Modes, let's say everything, because sometimes it's just crashing with the terrain, which is not really big terrain I have, but yeah, sometimes it's just having problems with that for some reason. My terrain, and then sculpt, and my brush should be even bigger. Let's initially, so let's, oops, I want to have something not so strong, so I can model this one like small hill here for that. Probably it's too much. I will just I think could be easier not sculpting but just flatten to some size. And something like that, and then I will just smooth this area. Will be easier just than just trying to sculpt manually, things like that, I think. Okay, it's going really slow. I think it's enough. What I will use now is just smooth all those side and something small but stronger. Oops, it's too small really. I was thinking something like that, and probably even more. Something like this. So I can add later a few steps there, make something nicer, like being a bit separate from the town. And I will just create a small path trails round for that. So this is fine. Let me check also the size of the church, because maybe in doing small, this area is already small. So church. Hello, since the project, yeah, I was creating, or I can show you in a while. I was creating this door, this main door that I'm using many times, and the thing is, for this one, let me show you just a moment. Only the door, not about the church. So here I have in the viewport, you can see I have just some arrows saying which direction you are opening and then which one. So I can just change things like inverting for this one is just going to the opposite one, as you can see. Is this real time? Yes, it's real time. So I can just invert this one or not by default. I can change also about being opening or not when I'm starting, and I have this one. This is a box. So with this box I was creating just being overlap and on overlap, and the first thing that it's doing is just checking it's not the player, so it's just NPC, and casting to NPC, this is fine, and then just taking who is trying to cross this door, then opening or closing. And for being safe, what I'm doing is just removing the collision, just to avoid that it's just stuck trying to opening or closing or things like that. So just remove the collision for the door when it's NPC, and then when calling, well, I have my binding functions, and then the animation for opening or closing. So this is just crossing round, and also I was just checking this one for this mess, which is also important. It's like not affecting navigation, so the NPCs can they see that there's nothing there, so the map is crossing there all the time. So any door, for example this one, any door that you can see this box area, when they are just arriving there, the door is being opening or closing, and they go inside, because you should see the enough mess. You can see that they are just crossing around the door because the door is not being affected to this one. So the NPCs, they can see completely empty, so they go through this direction. But the thing is, using this box, when they are just appearing here, the door is opening or closing depending on if you are entering or leaving, and the doors are being closed and opening directly when they are just going there. So I can just show you something for some NPC that is going inside some door or some house, and you can see that it's just going there. So for example, this guy, I think they have plans for things to do, but this is for me, and this is the plan. So one of the things that this has is just, okay, we will just move to this go home, and then we will do something like delay just for 30 seconds just to see that the plan is doing. So the plan for this guy is just start moving and go inside of the house. Okay, I will just put something far to see this, and let's see what is this guy doing. Play. I did play already, I'm just waiting because I don't have much RAM. Okay, I cannot do anything at the moment. I hope it's not crashing. Okay, for some reason there's nothing happening. Okay, finally. Can you see? Let's speed this because it was a small problem. What are you doing with navigation? I didn't change anything, just play. I really don't know what is this. So as you can see, they are just crossing the doors because the doors are being opening and closing when they are just crossing this box collision. In my case, I'm coming here but nothing's happening because I'm a player, so this box is ignoring me, so it's not opening or closing the door. In fact, the door is locked, so it's not, I cannot cross this one. But the player, but the NPCs, they can cross because they cannot see in this nav maze. They don't see the door. There's just the map and that's all. So they're just going there, and the doors are opening or closing. And it's the same, for example, for this one here. You can say this is exactly, it's like another mess, but it's having the same code. So all of them, or for example this one, small ones here, let's say this is also the same. So it's just small doors. When the NPCs are just coming, this is opening and then just cross the door because they cannot see this door. They just continue for this nav mess and they don't see this door. For example, here you see that the nav mess is completely open, so this door is not affecting at all. So the NPC is just walking straight ahead and that's all. They don't see the doors. But the only thing is just to avoid just blocking there. It's just opening and closing it, which is door animation, but the thing is removing the collision and then activating again when they cross for the player at any moment. So yeah, they are just crossing, opening all the doors, and they don't see the doors for walking in the nav mess. Well, they don't see at all. But for me, they are. So they are just normal doors. So this one, for example, if I do, probably, yeah, you can see that it's already the mess. The nav mess is inside and crossing the door. So they don't see the door. They could just cross to the inside of the charge, and the door is just opening and closing when it's needed. So yeah, that's the question. And I'm using the same door for most of the things, for example fences and things like that, so all of them are working, and I don't need to take care about, for example, this, that the doors are opening or closing, because all the doors are locked. So you as player, you cannot go inside of the house if you are not starting some missions or doing a few things. But for the NPCs, all of them are even not existing the door, so close or not is not the door there. So they can just cross. All of them having plans like going home, things like that. So yeah, so no, they don't see the doors, and I'm not worried about this, for example, that they can cross all the map, crossing houses and things like that, and they don't care about doors at any time in any place, or fences or doors, or they lock or not, so they can cross everything. Yeah, it's a really good engine. You have a lot of options. This what I did. I mean, this is just my option for do that, because I was having problem with the doors. They are just stuck on doors, and then I need to check which direction they are taking, and then finally I say, okay, we'll just put the doors that are opening and closing automatically for them, and that's all. Well, it takes a bit of time. I need to improve a few things. I found problems, for example, with, as I say today, with proxies on the head, because there are some NPCs longer, so are taller than, for example, the player, and I had a few problems with this, things like that. But also I was also working this nav mess, adjusting to the side of the doors, so that the nav mesh is really crossing the doors. They have enough space and not, for example, being blocked on the edges, things like that. But yeah, but you can just create a lot of things, and I have a lot of things, small things like that are really very useful and cutting down a lot of work that I'm doing just with really not much code. You can see this door base. Well, the thing is reconfigure because you have this is something a bit big, because you need to take, for example, repositioning the arrows on screen, which is nothing about playing, and for example resize the box collision for the side of the mesh that you are using, so it's resizing, and then it's managing inverted or not. If you are choosing this option, this is just changing completely the rotation and things like that. And for example, managing if this is open or closed, because you can start being open. And also you have dummy markers for go to the doors or be in front of the door, things like that, because I have also here, you cannot see because I was probably hiding them, but I have with this rendering visible. Well, there are two dummy boxes here, and there's another one in front, so this is just giving me location of the door here and there. So I have the location of the door in case that, for example, I want to go in front, or are you in front, or what is the closer side of the door for you, things like that, so you know if you are inside or outside and things like that. So it's a front side, back side, and you know which side you are. For example, just checking what is the shortest distance to the back side or front side. I can tell you if you are inside or outside of this door or this building, for example. But for buildings, something much more complex. I have a lot of more things. But yeah, so this is just managing a few things like that. Oops. Remove. Okay, so this is one of the code to reconfigure a lot of things, but it's just only markers on screen and not much like open close. And for the rest of the things, it's just more or less nothing. I mean, this is one of the code for the animation, which is working for both. I need to check for inverted, for opening or not opening, and then name the number of degrees that you are just rotating, which direction, and timeline and things like that. But I mean, there is no more code. And this is when the begin overlap and overlap that you have seen, the code is exactly the same for both. This one is deactivating, this one is activating, this one is on open, this is on close, and the code is exactly the same. So there is nothing really complex here. If you check for all of them, this lock is so easy, this unlock is easy code, this open is exactly the same but just animating, and then because I can open and close the doors when I'm starting, for example, playing and things like that. For example, you have here like is actor in front, is just taking this front side, back side dummies, and then it's just giving you this information, so it's just be easy. And the get action and execute action, they are really small. It's just for the player. I'm using, for example, keys, because also you can define the keys for the door, so they are just blocking or not with the doors. So, and that's all the code. I don't have more functions, more things like that. It takes a bit of time. And I have also here, for example, all those NPCs and things like that. Oh, wait, I have seen here, I found, because I would like to have this also in the door, that the door are having this sound when the player is crossing, but I would like to have also with the NPCs are crossing, because if you are just in front, you can hear this sound. It's trying of compiling, I don't know what it's doing, compiling this door, because I have this door many times. I was using, for example, for the toilet, this is the same door, changing the mesh, but the same code. I have doors for houses, I have doors for example, the fences around, and different fence, and all of them have exactly the same code. So what I want to do is this one, for example, this is binding the sound for opening and closing, but also I need to have for NPCs, so I need to bind event, I just forgot, on open NPC, which is also just playing the sound if the NPC is just crossing. I'm not sure if I can just bin the same. Okay, perfect. And I will do the same with the on-close NPC. Small things like that, that is not complex at all. As you see, it's just really simple, but it takes some time until you understand this one, and then you can reuse, and then you don't need to recreate or create new classes every time that you need to do something slightly different, like different sounds, for example, for the door, or different mess, things like that, you know. Even I could even define, for example, a couple of parameters that you define the sound for the door. So in case that's opening and closing, you are playing this sound. Because for example, this is okay for the sound, but for this one, these small fences, I don't want the same sound that I have with the doors, because it's unrealistic that you have this door with the same sound that I have for the big one. So in that case, the sound is by default not playing, and you need to create which sound for which door. So that's why I don't have this as generic, but I could just create maybe a few couple of variables that you define the sound for the door, and then you don't need to take care about this all those things like binding, for example, for the sound. But I want to have this binding because there are some another doors that you need to have information about going inside or outside, and then switching on and off lights and things like that. So for example, doors being used in buildings, they have more code in this on close and on open, so it's good to have this binding. But probably I could just add a variable for so this is my door by default, and I have a few codes for this on open, on close, but this is for buildings. But I'm using the same, so just binding what to do, and even doing different code for NPCs or not. As you can see, the same here is just for sound, so probably I could just remove this and having, as I said, just defined value for the sound when opening and closing, in case that it's just a fence, I don't have any sound. So I think I will take note of this, and I will just do later, just fixing small things like that. That's just improving the door, and in that case this door is improving for all the game, all of them, because I was reusing the same code, which is quite good. Not creating a new one every time to the new variation, because then I need to maintain 10 of them, but having one base class with a lot of options that you can reuse all the time, and then changing one is changing for everything. So this is something that I would like to have, like add sounds on door base, so I can just remove these codes from all the classes and just extending and having in one single place to manage this. And like that I have a few things. For example, buildings is building. This one I was creating, it's a blueprint extending from building here, and building has really hundreds of things. This is something big, huge, a lot of function, a lot of variables, and it has a lot of code really. But this is something complex that I'm using for having rooms, windows, doors, you are being inside, outside, and many other things like that, for controlling any building in the game. So all the classes are extending from this one. And I was doing the chart in case that, for example, I need go inside, go outside, are you inside, things like that, you know, switching on and off, for example, lights that you have. When you are going inside, the lights are being switched on, but when you leave, you know, they switch off just for performance. And then it's everything managing these things when you are going inside, outside, and things like that. So I don't care much, for example, about lighting or a lot of lights, because I know that all of them are being switched off when you are leaving the buildings. So all those things I don't really need to manage every single time, and I'm doing exactly the same code every single time. So it's stupid to have duplicating all the time. So just put in some place and reuse in the level 100 times. So when I'm changing, for example, this door, I change a few things here. Recompiling, need to recompile probably 100 doors or things like that. So it takes a bit longer for just something that seems too simple. And I will just move now this to the place, select, and then we'll see if we can put on this, if this is enough, the size or not. Of course it needs to be something like this. and I see that I need to do a bit smooth here, or now could be fine sculpting. And I see that yeah, here is a bit small, so I need to sculpt here a bit. I need to adjust also about the doors. I will use this door as reference. So this door is fine, and the rest would be adjusted to this one. And probably inside is not completely plain, but yeah, it's fine. So if you have any question about any part, or you want to see some, I don't know, component or blueprint or code, I have a few code also on C++, base classes. But if you are more interested in anything about development and not just about the game, yeah, let me know. I can show many things. I was also already showing a lot of things in different videos, but I understand that you or anyone is not just checking hundreds of hours of streaming for, you know, trying to find things. So just let me know. I would show you, and it's not a problem. Smooth, probably this sculpt here a bit, and then I will use smooth now to match this one. This is doing too much. Why? Sculpt again. Smooth. Or maybe it's just the shadow. It seems to me that this is a hole, but it's not. In fact, this is not, it's just the shadow. I think this is fine. And probably here I need to be a bit down. I don't know, it's just using Shift or Control to do the opposite way to sculpting. I think it's Shift, or what is it? Yeah, it's Shift. Using Shift you can do the opposite one. Okay, seems fine. If I'm missing something, I will just later will fix. For example, here I see it is a bit high, so a bit like that. And probably I use some ground, I mean in a mess, and I will put some proxy here for the floor, so it's just completely plain. I'm not just using the terrain because the terrain is fine, but it's hard to adjust, and also I can just remove this one, so a few triangles I can just remove from the terrain. When it's just trying to paint and things like that, it's really going really bad about frame rate, so it's just lagging all the time, and it's hard to paint because you are trying to paint something and then it's moving like after 3 seconds, and then you are painting completely different place, you know. You think you didn't click this one, but it is, and then it's just messing all the time. Okay, and that way I was thinking about I will just paint already. So this is just painting. Let me save things. That should be painting, yeah, and then it should be something small, 64 probably. And I will put something dirty. And some grass here. to be this area. Probably will add some vegetation around to be nicer, and also hiding all those things that I have here, so something like flowers, so I don't know what to do there. Few things. And yes, something like that. Yeah, of course the chart needs a lot of work, but the main block, just the main block to have here, and then we can start doing a few of level designing. And I will add messages that I have, environment, and probably I will create a wall for stones, because I have this one there for fence that is not good. I mean, just for the farms, and makes not much sense using them here for all the area around. So yeah, probably things like that is not good. In fact, I have already this one for environment. I have fence, no, this here, and then I'm using, let's say, 5, and then rotating this one, because I have few things for instant messages, so it's just easy to create with this blueprint. And also they use the same they use the same draw call, so this is like kind of one single mess, and not having a lot of them, because usually when you are doing those fence, you are really using a lot of exactly the same, and you are not planning to change it anyway. So yeah, it takes like a lot of them for something that you can put all together, instead of just merging later. I'm just creating from the blueprint. Sorry. Even I could create something square, because I have ready for a square here, so I can just create, let's say, 4, 3, and this is just creating something square. So we, oops, no, this is 4 here, 3 here, and the gap would be 10. So I have ready this square that I can do much bigger if I need, or something like that. And all of them are just using one single draw call, all of them. So in that case I have 30. If I'm doing manually, first it takes time, and also there are 30 draw calls. In that case it's only one, and they are using also lots, hierarchical lots. So this is 6 probably. I could do something like that. Of course the terrain is not going well, and the problem that I have here is I don't like this one. I could of course change this one to be or the small fence, or could be, for example, oops, not this one. I have fence door, I think, door, fence, what's this name, door, fence, large. So I could use, for example, this one, or I have also this one, which is like the small one, and I have another one smaller, and There is another one, I don't remember which one. Probably, let me see if I have here. This is fence sticks. Well, the problem is about the orientation of this one. Okay, but I could use things like that, you know, for either like this. Okay. So I can create something faster, and I don't really need to work a lot for that. And I just change the model for that, and probably will use this one, but I will use some kind of stones here. In fact, I have something really bad because it was just stone wall. Was really bad. I mean, and it's too big. But I could just change the scale to 3.5, things like that. Yeah, it's not working well, but I mean, I could do that. Things like this, all around, you know, and yeah, create small wall of stones instead of using things like that. But it's too big, really too much, of course. Yes. Let me hide a few things. It's just messing. 3, or the opposite one. 4 here. 6, 5. Which is going bad, but could be something like that. Just small stones. The wall. I need to create, of course, door for that. Because this one seems more like 45, which is shouldn't be like that, but just having something to divide the space between the church and the rest of the town, which is just what's been planned. And as I say, for example, I could just try to put a few space here for a few tombs, probably, or maybe this way, here, more space after that. But yeah, that's the idea, to have some space, divide from the church, and create something around, which is not this one, but something, and then create small doors. Let's remove this, and I will put here, for example, let's put this door at the base door. So this is the base door, which is already interactive here. And I can do, for example, this one. This is fence small, or door fence. Okay, so this one should be already working. This is just a blueprint component and it works. So I do that and this is working. And I can also define, for example, for this one, I see what is the distance. I could define, for example, it's open, so it will be starting the game like opening. The degrees that I want to open, for example, 115, and you can see this one is going until this point, so it's easy to see, for example, colliding with terrain or doors or things like that. If I do inverted, will be like this, you know, or like that. Let me see, because probably I was just breaking everything when I was just changing this one. No, this is fine. That's fine. Let me see what doors, they are fine. Okay, so I can just create, change a few options like that. For example, this is opening until this point, but if I do inverted, this opening to the left side. Is locked, will be completely locked, it's not possible. Or I can use, for example, an item as key. If I don't have this key, you cannot open this door. So let's say, for example, I use key bait house for this one, which is I don't think I have this, so in case that I try to open it, probably have already. Well, I have keys here, so things like that. So it's being locked, and then yeah, key missing. I'm missing the key this is the main there because I have this key. But if I use, for example, the key that I have, it's just ready working, and I can open it because I have the key already, you know. So I can just define a lot of few things just in the generic class, and it's much easy to use. And just changing the mesh, changing the what you can see here, how is this being open. If I'm starting the game, it's already open, and I can close this one directly. So yeah, so I'm closing and easily it's just opening. So it's just useful. After some time I have found that I want to have a class very easy for the doors, and I can reuse for all the doors in game. Have it like this. What more? This one should be moved to charge. Here. And there's no key, nothing enabled. You have it in description because it's an interactive object directly. So probably I was thinking about what to do also. What to do. We can work a bit on this tower. I think could be nice to have this tower more or less finished, or some part of it. So first thing should be need to check about the size, because probably if not it's just too small, and the NPC cannot even go inside. So for that, what I need is at least 1 meter. I think that needs to be 1 meter in any side, and also a bit more because I want to have the walls. And after that I can use spiral stairs that I think that I have already. If I can find these messes, buildings, stairs, I have this one already. Yeah, so I can use this one. I think this one have all the proxies and things like that, so I can reuse this one, but for that I need to be sure that it can be inside. So that's why I'm just trying to have this one inside of this building. But the thing is, I cannot see the faces now because I'm not using the right one for the proxies. So this, something like that. As you see, this is so big, so it means this one is too small for this wall, and I think this one is the right side to be the player, so it's not possible to walk less than this. So this is the minimum side that I should have. Of course not here, I mean the second floor, but I can do the same here. For example, just adding this one. Let's rotate this. And as you can see, there is not enough space here, even just using this one. Let's check. I think that they have the proxies here already. Let me see. Yeah, I have already the proxies here, so let me just check this size if this is working. So this wall is of course working, as I was already doing before. And the thing is, this is probably too much for that. So I see that the tower is probably too small for what I'm just planning to do. And this is the second floor ready, so this is fine. And what we need to see if is this bigger than the wall, almost. But this is, well, it's slightly bigger. So I could probably do like that, and then you cannot see this wall. This is fine. But probably the problem is here that you can see this one, which is too big. Let's hide this. I don't want to see this. Hiding. I think the tower is too small. Comparing also with the door. The door needs to be bigger, and then this one is just messing there. So we have here a problem about the size, that this one should be bigger, or we can try to do I'm thinking about rotating in some direction that you can go there, but it's not messing with the door. For example, if I'm doing like that, just rotating this one for 90 degrees, could be not messing at all with the door, but in that case the problem is I'm not sure if we can just walk there. Let me see if we can go inside. Probably we can't because we don't have here a proxy, so maybe we are just fighting here. We don't have enough space. So in that case, for example, I'm just already crossing to the first floor, and I have enough space on the left and right because the door is going well. But in that case is so if the door is bigger it's fine, but the only thing is probably having here, well, but I can do that, I can do like that, so I still have few space, and this could be fine. In that case I can even use small door here, the small door here, and then just going this way could be fine. I will just put a few proxies here for this wall to check if this is enough or not. In that case I'm just arriving to the second floor, and probably yeah, but in that case I also need this one for the door, so it's also a problem. But I could use this is not, so it's a problem because I don't have enough space to this stairs go here. I could just maybe create something square, so go this direction, then go this one, and go a new one. But in that case what I need to have is at least this side should be 2 meters, and I'm not sure about this. We will check here. We will check about this. Oops. So let's see the tower. What we need to have is 2 meters between both of them at least, and I mean about the wall, so I will just add as a cube, and this cube has 2 meters. Let me restart the editor here. It's just taking, I don't know, too much RAM or something, or I'm not sure about this. I probably have a lot of things open here. I was also playing with blueprints, so let me close a few things. In the meantime we are just this is just with Blender, so this is fine. And what we need to have is 2 meters here, so that's the thing. From this one, this is 2 meters, and we need to check if it is enough. So I see the door is not enough, and we cannot create small stairs with let's say some kind of square here, because we need at least 1 meter for the capsule of the player. So in that case probably I need to move the walls a bit out, but also then I need to create this one longer. So that's what the thing, that I don't want to add all the details before I'm just having all the right sides inside to work on it. Otherwise it's just really wasting the time. I need to recreate everything, so it's just It's better to move now that we have almost nothing, instead of moving later when there's already everything have been done. So what I see now is that we need at least let's move this and then we will know 1.2 GE minus 1.5, which is too much, but could be good to have at least some little space. So in that case, what I need to move is this, the walls, let's say this. I should need to move this one, GE minus 1.5, I see. Yeah, probably this one also, so GI 0.5. This is fine, and we need to move, of course, the doors and everything like that. So take this, all the proxies also. GE 0.5, and we will move all the proxies. So let's hide this and this, and then we will take this 0.5. And what is the proxy for the other one? It's GE minus 0.5. And what we need to do is now increasing the size of those proxies. So that's GE 0.5. I will do the same with the mesh, but just doing at the same time the proxies. So it's just and GE minus 0.5. So the proxies are already done, the walls are done. This is the door. This is the back. That's one thing that I need to do, is just taking this bigger, and for that what I need to do is probably this one, and then I'm changing the roof, but this is fine. So GE 0.5 minus 0.5, should be matching with them. And now it's front. What we need to do is the same, minus 0.5 and then 0.5. Of course we need to do all the unwrap again, but at the moment I'm just keeping like this. Of course the roof, we are just breaking everything about the roof. So the roof is just not sure about this, how we will manage this one. I think that I will take this like that, and then this side minus 0.5. So we have changed a bit of the angle of the roof just to match with all of them, but I think it's fine. So we have bigger, more space now on this, and we have already 2 meters. So now should be what is happening here? Okay, should be fine, having enough space for the stairs. And the editor is almost done already. What is there? Okay, the editor's here, probably loading a few textures still, but okay, reload this one. What is my blueprint? What I want to do is, well, let's do the blueprint. Open the blueprint because I need to move also the door. The door is now broken. And what about my roof? Why I'm messing my roof? Because I didn't reload this one just. Re-import. And now the door will be out of place exactly. So what we need to do is just moving from the E 1.5, so this is 50, and that's done. Save and save, and we have ready door. We have more space between the door and the wall, and here we can do exactly the same, moving. This one is just to the wall, and we should have enough space right now to have this door again. So Ctrl W, and then we will move to something like that, and now also rotating 180. In fact, I don't need the second one, because I mean, if you are just going to the second roof floor and then you are just crossing going inside, so the only thing that we were just planning to do is just not having that space here, and now should be space enough to do that. So just let me try. This one should be enough, and this one is also going well, and probably here I have already the second floor, or I don't know, yeah, passing completely the door. I'm blocked here for some reason, and the door is broken. It's just happening. So yeah, because the door is here. I was just hiding this one, but this is fine. I was just hiding this one, but it's here, so that's why the proxy is here. And now the door seems broken, but in fact it's just restarting the editor should be fine. Sometimes it happens with the code, and the editor is just messing for some reason, I don't know. What I was doing, yeah, the wall here. So what we need to do now is yeah, probably this is enough. So I mean, removing this one, and I will put here a small area where you can just go through. Well, since not, because it's not enough, could be, or just wing something straight to this, just to avoid how high this is the main door. But you need to go there probably, and then just cross to the tower. For that reason, I need to have this one bigger, and I will add also a proxy for that, because I want to check already with the walls. So this is nothing. This is front. This I need this. I don't need the roof. Okay. So what I need to do is just adjusting the tower to the same size of the door. So let's say I'm doing probably scale not zeta, something like that. And even more. Just to be sure, because I need to have also walls inside, so something like that probably. And what I want to do is just put here a proxy for this one, and this one should be minus 1.2 for some reason. So that's why it seems to me that this one I was not applying location or rotation. What about this? Okay, so I see that all of them need to have this one. So let me see what I can put all of them, and then apply location rotation for them, and that's all. So this is the wall, and I will put here right now just proxy for this one. So give me one of the proxies, not this one, probably this is fine. Duplicate this, will be 7, and then like that, this one here, I don't need to match this one, and then going to this wall, probably will be not so thick, but anyway it's fine. And just to be sure that we are doing in the right place, yes we are, or no, what means no, that's exactly that was I was just checking from the top just to be sure that we are not in any other place. Okay, so that's the wall ready for this part of the wall, and we will check if we have enough space for that. And let's just re-import. Takes really long, I don't know really why. So if we check now about the proxies, let's be sure that it's there. Okay, so I have all the proxies that I really need for this stairs. If this one is going well, as you can see, it's just being blocked here. You cannot go inside, but you can walk. And after that, I will have something going straight forward to avoid the height of the door. And yeah, the only thing, you cannot go inside of this small part, but I can just put something or just a few, I don't know, some props, so you cannot just mess it with this. Also let me check it, this one is being there, matching or not. It's probably, there is also a few more that you can match here, and this is not going outside, so we can just try to use this. Okay, let me see again. Yeah, it's so small, but it's not a problem, and it is fine. I can just put something here or just a wall. I can just put a wall here and you cannot see this. And then you go where? Here, and then just in front. The door is also not in the right place. And after that, of course, you have enough space because this tower is big enough to have all the space to the top, to the roof. This is fine. And we'll have proxies here. Seems to me that this is a bit small. Probably need to move this one there. More like, okay. What I want to have this, the tower will be all those things. No, this should go closer to this one. So in that case, I think I would just scale on X. Will be something like that, and then just moving. And that is longer for that, but this is fine. What I want to do is, I'm trying to do is just reducing the space for after you cross door, which is this the door. I would like to have a few more space here before starting everything. So what we need, this is just also being adjusted to the real world. And we need to import this. Yes. So we have smaller, well, something strange here. Probably it's just about the UV and not about the mess. I think it's just the UV because I didn't recreate later when I was just changing the size. So let's see here what's happening with this proxy. It is small and we have more space here, which is fine, with more space. And then we have this one to go to the top. That's good. And I can see from this hole that we don't need really a lot of it's having like 30 centimeter per step. We will have like 1 meter now, 1 or 2 meters, so I think it's fine. We can just avoid the door and then continue with the wall. So this one could be the final tower size. So what I can do is just put in here a few of and just just this one could be the final size of the tower. I'm also afraid doing so small that inside is not possible also to walk. So because as I said many times that I want every single building you can walk, everything, go inside every single room, all the squares, things like that, so it's not like fake walls, things like this. So if you have a tower, you should be able to walk on the tower, even maybe not initially, maybe you need to do some a few missions or things like that, but yeah, it needs to be available to walk inside and to drive to the, in that case, to the bell, for example. So yeah, I will add a few proxies here because since fine, it's nice already, and could be nice to just walking around. First, I will also do this unwrap. Seems to me that strange, but it's only about unwrapping and not really about. I need to duplicate this. And that's the one that I need to use is here. Yes, so that's closed already. Should be a final square here. It's fine. This is also fine. And I see that for this is 9, this is 8. This small window that I was just creating here for the tower needs to be, of course, much higher if you compare with the proxy that you have, and the size that you need to be your door, avoiding already the door needs to be a bit higher. So for that I need to do that, and this one will be higher. Of course I need to have at least 2 meters here, otherwise I cannot pass across this area from the player, but that could be fine. Unwrap and then save them, export, just re-import here. Oh, okay. Let me see just the proxies if we have been, everything has been imported properly. Yes, it is. So we can just check here, for example, the final size for this space. We can move well, all the proxies is working. I have a hole here, but it's fine. so you can open this one. I would like to have this one ready, but it's opening well in the right way. But anyway, it's just working. You can see fish space door. If you go there, I'm just checking about the proxy, comparing with the door, which is really not a lot of space, but should be. Here also I see this is the proxy, this is fine, but I see that being inside, since there's something too big probably, because the problem is you don't have enough space on this door. Going inside, you have the proxy too close to the walls. I will create also the inner walls for the tower, because it's hard to see this one. So I will just create probably. I will just duplicate this, and then I will just do small size for that, and I will just flip direction for all of them, and I think the unwrap for both of them. Of course, it's not so nice, but just to see what is happening with the proxies, because I'm afraid that, as you can see here, the proxy is bigger than this wall, so we can try to do so small as it is. This one, not this one, this one. Okay, so the proxies are just the same as walls, so we can see inside how it's going, because it seems to me that we don't have enough space for the main door. So when you are going through the main door, you can be almost being blocked for proxies that are creating inside of those doors. So in that case, we need to increase again the walls, things like that. Okay, so we have ready inner walls that we can see everything inside. And we can check about the size, which is enough for the wall. I think I can do, of course, this door a bit smaller, so maybe it's too big. It can be something big, but not so much. And this one is also fine, so it's just avoiding the door. Here we could probably remove or just do something nicer. We need to put also here a small roof, avoiding to see the rest of the tower. And comparing here with this proxy, we can walk. So after that, more or less, since they are the same size as this one, so I'm not just going there for some reason. Okay, so this would be the proxy of the wall that I have, and after that a bit more steps, and then we are just solving the door. So yeah, I could just put this as just for with my here and then here, and then of course we need to rotate this. So let's say you are going ahead and you are finding this one just in front of you. Something like that. It's too much. Because the proxies are there, so probably I can reuse this one. And as you see, checking this one is not enough, so I need to, okay, of course I need to be as big as this door window that I was doing, at least. But anyway, it's not enough for the door. Probably not. Or let's just move it on. I'm not sure how high I could go from this point to this one. So this is just something that I'm trying to find. Okay, probably I'm just on walls. Okay, so go this way, and then I need just to say jump there, and then jump in there, and then again. Okay, fall down. Anyway, this is good, and I see that you are already solving this one. Of course, I could use just playing straightforward steps and some steps, and not this one, because I'm using this one here that I don't really need, and I will create something here with wood and not stones. So this is, I think it's more than enough, and I will create also small roof here. So this is the one that I will create, and the roof should be here probably. Yes, so give me this one. What is this? Because I'm just trying to use this. Are you stupid? Okay. And I will create here a face, and that's exactly what I needed. And the rest of the inner walls I could just delete because you cannot see them probably, or what I mean, this one needs to be here. Exactly. And what I'm doing is just, I don't need this, I don't need this one, and also I don't need, well, I need this or not. This is not what I need. So I have ready, I think it was deleting outside. So this is the only one that I need. This face, and then I want to use the inner one. Can't you give me the inner one or not? Okay, this is the inner one, and this is also the inner one that I don't need. And then no, this is outside, so this is inside. Because inside the only thing that I need is just a box. So I'm just creating a box from, this is inside. Probably I'm messing up everything. Yeah, it's fine. Because I was creating all the inside faces that I don't really need. And in fact I just need a box in front of the door. So I can just delete all of them. Like this. But this one, this is inside. This is also inside. This is inside. And not this one, but this. So all those things I can already delete. And also not this. Probably I delete already. So I can delete all those faces because I don't need the interior for this area. Or not as it was. Because I need to create later when I'm just walking there. I need to create a box here after that. So yeah. Probably I messed up everything. But just to remove things. Not this. Okay, so you can see here now that we have this roof that probably should be higher than the door, but I can just change the door or change this roof already. So this is fine for I think that's fine. Well, I will work a bit more on it just to continue with this one. I think I'm leaving now because it's already more than 3 hours streaming. So maybe it will be this afternoon again, I really don't know. I have a few things or more things that I need to do. For example, level design all around. Could be nice to have this one. Because probably until I have some gameplay inside of the church, it takes some time, so I could just already have just outside and then just start painting, level designing all around of those things. So could be just fine. Yeah, I think I'm leaving here. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming. Join Discord chat if you didn't do. If you want to just try the demo I was doing this week, you can mostly try everything that you can see already. And you have a small demo mission to just play around with a few mechanics of the game already. So if you want to try something, just join Discord. I will create an account for you because it's a closed demo. Thank you everyone for coming. Hope you enjoyed, and to see you the next time. Thank you. Bye bye.